He's to have 40, no less. If he passes out, wake him up.
What is that blasted sound, sir? It's not quite like a noise as such, or a sound in my head.
Keep going.
Sir, the trees, they're moving.
They're not trees, Captain. They're alive.
Sir, there are hundreds of them.
Hold your position to stop. Fire at their eyes.
All masks, sir. Appear and vanish like ghosts.
They aren't ghosts. They're some kind of natives.
We may have attracted their attention, sir.
I hate this godforsaken country. Is this all because of him? This animal? Baru!
Major, you must get back. They've seen you.
You wouldn't strike an officer in His Majesty's forces. You don't have the authority. I'll kill him. Get back! I'll kill him. You wouldn't dare! Ah!
In the name of the king! What kind of demons are they?
The reason you should have listened to the doctor instead of sending him away? It may be too late for all of us now.
Emmy, get the other children upstairs. Let's take charge of the situation.
You can't go out there, Father! You'll be killed!
People are dying, and it's my duty. But perhaps if I can find the doctor...
I'm coming with you.
You most certainly are not! George, I want you to take my pistol and protect my children with your life. Do that, and you will have an absolute pardon by the end of the day.
I would do so anywhere, Your Excellency.
I know that, George. And if you can't go home, well, at least you'll be able to go somewhere else in the Empire, some place where you can start again.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I will hide the children as best I can.
Father! No! Don't go out there! Let me go!
And you too, Miss Skye. Moira?
Jimmy! You're alive!
Best get out of here, miss.
Not before I... Oh my, you're back.
They'll kill you.
Only if they can catch me. We need to get to the infirmary. The doctor is supposed to be there, although I doubt he is. I can still do something about your wounds. First, we need to cut you loose. I need a knife.
Sword.
Where?
Knight sword.
Of course, the captain's sword. Where is he?
Don't know.
Stay here. Oh my.
Is he there?
Part of him. I think I'm gonna be sick.
Thank you, miss.
Don't mention it. Let's get out of here.
Is anyone out there? You need to let me out!
Oi! Doctor, over here, the window!
Ah, young man. Sorry, didn't catch your name.
Hawkins, sir. Well, Charles Hawkins, but everyone calls me Charlie. Do you know what's going on here, Doctor?
I think I do, Charlie, but I don't suppose you could see yourself free to...
Helping you escape? That would be a hanging offence.
I don't think there's going to be anyone around to hang you if you don't let me out of here.
Would this help?
My sonic screwdriver. I thought I'd never see you again. How did you come across it?
Never
mind. This will just take me a minute.
We could always try these.
Keys? Where did you get those from?
I ran into the gaoler as he was running away. Didn't notice a thing.
Well, not as much fun as a sonic screwdriver, but they'll do. Thank you, Charlie. A very useful fellow to have around.
My pleasure, Doc.
Quickly, in here!
It's one of those things, Doctor. It's enormous. The height of a tree.
It's a native species, Charlie, evolved to meet the demands of a very hostile environment. It's just being animated by the dreamer. Of course, the psychic link.
Doctor, it's getting awfully close, and I don't think this cell is going to be enough to keep it out.
Put your hands over your ears, Charlie.
It's stopping!
Come on, lad.
They don't have ears, Doctor. Why did it stop like that?
That low hum, a sort of vibration, have you heard it? It's a psychic link, a sort of line of communication with the dreamer. Well, I used the sonic screwdriver to disrupt that link.
Oh, right. Just one question.
Just one?
Will it have the same effect on the governor?
What?
Doctor! I want a word with you.
Just stay there. They must have some kind of disinfectant somewhere.
You must get away.
What kind of hospital is this? At least they should have bandages.
He means to kill you all.
Just rest, Jimmy. I have to disinfect the wounds somehow. I can't find any alcohol. But there is some salt.
You must get away.
I'm sorry. I could say that this is gonna hurt me a lot more than it hurts you, but we both know I'd be lying. It has to be done, given the heat.
You must.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Doctor, I think I owe you an apology.
Not necessary, Governor, and even if you did, there's no time. What you must do is gather together as many men as possible and have them transport as many buckets, bowls, and flagons of water as you can. Then form a perimeter around Government House. Furthermore, have as many possible evacuated out into the harbor.
But why? How?
Let me demonstrate.
But, Doctor!
Don't go out there! Don't...
It just fell apart.
Yes, it was Moira who tipped me off when she recounted how one of the creatures had recoiled when she jumped into a pool of water. Have you noticed how they vanish and reappear? That's because they are virtually two-dimensional, only barely a micron thick. So when they turn sideways, normal human eyes cannot perceive them. That combined with their similarity in shape to trees, and you have the perfect camouflage. They're magnificent.
That's hardly the word I'd choose to describe them, Doctor. But still, why water?
Ironically, unlike solid matter, water breaks the integrity of the molecular bonds between their cells. A few droplets is one thing, they can literally walk between rain, but faced with a bucketful, they just come apart.
Knight! Turner! Fall in!
What do we do now, Doctor?
We need to find Abaru, and Moira for that matter. It was Abaru's flogging that triggered the attack.
Abahu? Oh, you mean Jimmy, the native?
Yes, the native.
No matter what happens, miss, stay under the bed and keep the little ones behind you.
Are we all going to die, George?
Your father simply wouldn't have it.
Annie, Johnny's scared. You both have your slate boards. Both of you draw a picture of Marla, and I'll organize a treat for the best one when she comes back.
We also need to be as quiet as possible.
George, the window.
It must be 20 foot tall.
No! George, get down!
By all that is holy! Turner, get those buckets up here now!
You and you, toss from opposite sides, now! It actually worked. Hang on, who's that amongst the waste?
That was my manservant, Captain. Now get the men to form a perimeter around the house, and keep that water coming up from the harbor. I'm going to check on the children. And if you see the doctor, send him to me.
Right, Your Excellency. You men look lively. Let's get a line down to the harbor.
How does it look out there?
I can't see a single one of those Timara out there, Doctor. Once the governor started to organize an offensive with water, they seemed to retreat back in the bush. And it's getting darker now.
The retreat's only temporary, I can assure you.
Is Jimmy going to be alright, Gov? He's been sleeping for hours.
Yes, I expect so. He has the constitution of an ox. Still, humans weren't designed for such abuse.
I got a flogging once. I can still feel it.
Oh, Doctor.
My dear fellow, lie still. You need to rest.
Doctor, I know you understand. You must get everybody away. The dreamer, he wants to kill you all.
But not your own people, though, Abaru. He wants to protect them, doesn't he?
Please, Doctor.
I think the psychic link between Abaru and the dreamer must have still been strong. It was his treatment that finally triggered the all-out assault on the settlement.
But who or what is this dreamer you keep mentioning?
I am the eye that watches from beyond.
Doctor?
It's all right, Charlie. In his weakened state, we have nothing to fear from him.
Centuries ago, white people came. They shipwrecked on the distant west coast and traveled inland. At first, they were dependent on help from my children. Once they established themselves, they began to slaughter freely and spoil the earth.
And what did you do?
I destroyed them.
I suppose one of the advantages with children is that they are small, Father. Don't worry, I and the other women will keep them inside and keep them calm.
That's excellent, Emmeline. Just like your mother. Totally dependable. I know I haven't given you credit for how much like a mother you've been to Lottie and Johnny.
I know you're a busy man, Father, with a lot on your mind.
Well, yes. No matter what happens, I want you to know I'm proud of the woman you've become.
All's well, Governor. There's been no sign of those creatures for hours. The fires are helping to keep the men warm, and make it a little easier to see if they come back.
Excellent, Captain Turner. I have all the children inside being cared for by Emmeline and the other women of the settlement. Any sign of the doctor?
None, sir. But not all the buildings this side of the river have been searched.
It may have to wait until first light. It would be far too dangerous to wander in small groups at twilight. I hope he is well, and that young girl. My Emmy is very fond of her. That man single-handedly saved all our lives. I should have listened to him from the start instead of worrying about superficial matters.
With all due respect, sir, I've served all around the world. I've seen some very strange things. But nothing compares to what I've just witnessed in the past day. No one could have known he was telling the truth all along.
Was he? He's no government surgeon. Maybe an angel of some kind, perhaps.
Will the whole settlement need to be abandoned now, sir?
That would be my recommendation. This land is simply too hostile. We have no idea what else might lurk out there at the edge of the world. Worse things, perhaps, that might have no weaknesses. At the very least, any settlement will need to be a fortified and fully military concern.
Tell me those blighters are back!
What kind of depraved creature is that?
Hang on, Governor. That creature is wearing what's left of a uniform. I recognize part of it.
What? How?
Governor, that's Lieutenant Suter's coat.
If you're intent on obliterating all of us, I think it only manners that you explain yourself.
To a lesser being?
You are then, as I suspect, a Gestalt psychic entity evolved over millennia.
Very clever, Doctor. As you will very soon die, there is no harm in you knowing the truth.
And that is?
You explain, Doctor. Let's see how close to the truth you can get.
Yes, and you need to save your strength or your host might expire.
Will you two just stop trying to ace one another and let us mere mortals in on what is going on around here?
I suspect the dreamer originated in another dimension, perhaps a very compact one, or one startlingly ancient where he or she is the only occupant. How am I doing?
Is that possible?
Well, taking the latter scenario, it is possible that all surviving higher minds in this universe may eventually evolve and join together into a single entity. Things are a lot simpler that way. No conflict and no surprises either. Hang on.
Go on, Doctor.
That's what all this is about. You want the natives of this continent to evolve into a similar form of life to yourself. They have been taught by you to live environmentally sustainable lives, spiritual lives where mental well-being is prized above material gain, in a state of true harmony.
One might almost say, in perfect equilibrium, Doctor.
But for humans to achieve your advanced state of being, perfect equilibrium, that would take billions of years.
Only a few moments for me, Doctor.
But where did the tree men come from?
They're just the native fauna, harmless until animated by the dreamer's psychic energies. But how did you find this reality, let alone these isolated people? Of course, the meditation ceremonies.
Their mental focus allowed me to open a bridge by matching their mental frequency. Primitive, of course, but promising.
And of course no one can be allowed to interfere with your little pet project here. Europeans, for instance, would provide cultural pollution above all else. So just these chosen people are to remain hidden here on this continent forever.
That is the way it must be, Doctor. My children must be kept pure.
Only it doesn't happen that way. There's one advantage I do have over you, I'm afraid. Temporal hindsight.
I insist that is the way it will be. Events are unfolding now to ensure that all intruders are removed.
Captain, I want you to take your pistol and fire at that creature.
That creature was Lieutenant Suter.
Just follow orders, Captain.
As you wish, Governor. No effect. Its flesh must be as hard as rock.
And virtually opaque. Except for those eyes. Those red eyes.
Which is another thing, Governor. Can you see them out there? The eyes, I mean.
There must be hundreds of them.
I have this awful feeling that water isn't going to stop them this time.
Get everybody inside the buildings and report back to me. I have the strangest feeling that they are waiting for sunset.
There was a gunshot.
Your plan has been to keep me busy here. But why? And how are you going to attack the settlement now?
The Indian are savage creatures, Doctor. I have summoned them, and they have surrounded the settlement.
Imjin? But why did you need to stall for time unless... They prefer the dark, so if that is so...
You're too late, Doctor. The sun has set. The Indian are cave dwellers by day, emerging only at night. Along with the Timara, they're the last of the ancient creatures to still walk this land from before the Great Death.
The governor may come to the same conclusions eventually, but I can't take that risk. Moira, Charlie, I need you both to run as fast as you can to find the governor or Captain Turner and tell them to use fire to repel the Imjin. They hate any kind of light.
Why not the candles?
Not intense enough. These stick and bedsheet torches should last for a few minutes at least.
You're staying here?
I'm going to have one last go at persuading our friend here to call off the attack.
You should make a torch for yourself then.
I will if I have time. Now hurry. Try Government House first.
Good luck, Doctor.
Back before you know it.
You're too late, Doctor. You have sent them to their deaths.
They're creeping nearer.
Are the survivors indoors?
All save the surviving Marines. How are we going to stop them, sir?
I don't know. I tried dousing Suter with a bucket of water and he just growled at me. One thing I'm sure of is that wood and glass are not going to keep them out. They're starting their attack.
Governor, behind you!
It's alright, Governor. We're here to help.
Moira?
The doctor wanted us to let you know that they despise heat, sir.
The doctor's still alive?
He's with Jimmy, at the infirmary.
You, men there, organize torches for yourselves. Turn up. I want a wall of flame around the main buildings. Here.
Your cause is lost, Doctor.
That's interesting, as it's just what I was going to say to you.
Explain.
All this talk of keeping your children pure, don't you see that they've already been contaminated, as you might put it? The man you've possessed, Abaru Jimmy, has been taught a European language, been introduced to foreign ideas and concepts, and equally, although they might not admit it, has influenced his benefactors to the point where he had become indispensable.
You lie.
Abaru, are you in there? If you are, try and let the dreamer know I am telling the truth. You don't wish my death or that of the governor, do you?
They beat him like an animal. Worse than an animal.
One single man was responsible for that.
And many others cheered.
I'm not going to lie to you and tell you these new inhabitants are perfect, but even your children were new to this land at one point. People have been coming here for millennia. That is the way of things. Change and adaptation is the inevitable part of life.
Doctor,
Abaru, you must try to will the dreamer to stop. You must make him understand that killing all the settlers will not stop them. More white people will come.
he is too powerful, Doctor.
Now, there's a good chap. Can't we talk about this?
Get away from him!
Use the torch, Abaru!
No, it cannot be. One of my children betrayed. Why? Why?
They're retreating, sir. Just like the other creatures.
I have a feeling the doctor has something to do with this.
A little, but it was mostly Abaru here, Governor.
Doctor!
You made it! What about...
The dreamer is gone. Forever.
We're no longer his children.
I have no idea what you're talking about. But I've long since given up on arguing with you, Doctor. Here, let me help you, Abaru. That is an amazing story, Doctor. But if you think this land is safe now, I will convey that to my superiors in London.
Personally?
That's right. My papers arrived by ship early this morning. I've been recalled. I'll be glad to have the children, and Emmeline, back home with me. I may ask Abaru if he'll come with us. Perhaps I can arrange an audience with His Majesty. He takes a very close interest in all of his subjects.
Another 6 months at sea? I'm not looking forward to that.
A good chance to start again, Emmy. I wish you all the best.
So, this is your ship, Doctor? Surely you jest.
It's just a blue box.
Well, you can't tell a ship by its temporal covering. Don't you agree, Mr. Hawkins?
I was just...
Curious, hmm?
Ah, the infamous Mr. Hawkins. I have something for you.
You do, sir?
It's an unconditional pardon, Charlie, for your valiant help against what the Doctor has called the Quickens and their leader, the Dreamer.
I'm free?
Not just free, Charlie. Free to go home.
Home? To London?
Congratulations, young man.
Thanks, Doctor. Still, it's going to take me years to save up for a ticket back home, and even then, ships with a vacancy don't arrive every day.
Well, I could give you a lift back there myself. I'm often dropping in.
Nah.
Yes. Of course, you might not get there the right year the first time.
The right year? You're having me on, Doctor.
Am I having him on?
He might just have to find out.
Well, I'm game.
In you go, then.
Cool, blimey.
Goodbye, Your Excellency, Miss Emmeline, and good luck.
I won't forget you.
Come and visit me in London, won't you?
I'll try. Bye.
Well, I've said it before and I'll say it again. What an extraordinary fellow.
did say those creatures were gone for good, didn't he, Father?
Oh, yes. According to the doctor, we'll have no more trouble from quickens or anything else.